path of least resistance.
90% of the people on this planet are doing the path of least resistance. You only have to work this much harder. You only have to work that 10% harder than everyone else, and you will crush it. And be consistently 10% harder than everyone else, and you will crush it. And then imagine if you go 50%, and imagine if you go 100%. You're going to leave everyone behind. If they're not the right person, like, get rid of them ASAP. Don't just go, oh, maybe they'll come good. Maybe if I give them a bit more time. No. If they're shit, they're shit.
What determines the right one? If money became no longer a thing for whatever reason, okay, you won the lottery, you crushed it, whatever it is, you know, universal basic income came into play, whatever it is, money became no longer a thing. What are the things that you do now that you would no longer do?
I'll start with this. Hey, how good are dogs? Got my dog here today.
We've got a special guest.
Special guest.
She's going to jump on the table.
There we go. You can see on camera now. Good girl.
She's in the shot, Iggy.
That's it.
What's going on?
Good, man. Yourself?
Why do you say good when I say what's going on?
It is. Everything's good.
Oh, that's a good way of looking at it. I always think you're thinking I'm asking how you are.
No, just everything's good.
How are you, but?
Do you know something I always do when someone calls me up and says, hi, how are you? I always answer the phone, or I always answer them excellent every single time. Some people get surprised by it. Oh, wow, excellent. Oh, fuck, what else am I going to be?
Yeah, I do that too, but I try and change it up, and I think they're phenomenal.
If I change it up, I'll try not to. I think it won't be a habit. For me, it's a habit.
That's the whole purpose.
Why?
Because then you have to think about it.
I don't think. I just got shit to do.
But then it defeats the purpose. No, it's like equivalent.
But it programs my brain already that I am excellent. Nothing changes.
Yeah, it's better than saying
excellent.
Better than saying not too bad.
Not too bad. Everyone says that, by the way. I realise how many people say it when you take notice.
When you wake up.
Yep.
When you wake the fuck up. What's been going on?
Good. So much.
I feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. And what was it like last week?
Yeah.
Like Friday?
So this is going to air. So this is going to air
really soon.
Like this conversation's happening a week before it airs.
Yeah.
This will be very.
We've got a few banked up, but we've been so busy that we haven't been able to sit in front of a mic for a little while. How do you handle it? A lot of the time I call you and it goes straight to voicemail. No, you hang up on me. Like, hey, I'm busy. Those messages. And I laugh every time
I'm on the phone.
I almost want to call you back straight away.
I'm usually on the phone.
I almost want to just call you back. That's what I'm going to start doing.
Yeah.
When I was building my sister-in-law's house, my brother-in-law's house, he used to always call me flat stick. Right? And he used to always be, sorry, I'm on the phone, call you back later. And he's like, fuck. He goes, what are you doing? He goes, you're always barring my call. And then it wasn't until years later when he would call me again and I'd still bar him. So, see, it wasn't just then that I was barring you.
Oh,
it's like, yeah, he used to take it personally.
You thought you were...
Nah, I go, mate, I got shit to do.
Like, is this how you treat all your clients? I think I treat everyone.
That's it. Everyone across the board.
Yeah.
Across the board. Yeah, so it's good. Lots is happening, but I love people in my team. Do you know what I mean? I see the need. The busier I am, all I'm thinking is, who's the next hire? Who's the next hire? You know what I mean? I'm thinking about that a lot lately, heaps. Because I went from having, say, a PA part-time to then going, nah, fuck it, I need a PA full-time. Then I've had a PA full-time. I'm like, okay, shit, who's the next person I need to get in? So I've been thinking about that a fair bit lately and what that looks like in the business and in my life.
So who's your next hire?
My next hire post the PA, so will be probably a GM. I reckon that's the most significant one. That'll be a big step for me. And something else I've realized, which I've always known anyway, but I'm glad I acted on it because I said I would in the past, about, hiring people, taking a bit of time when you hire the right person. But if they're not the right person, like, get rid of them ASAP. Don't just go, oh, maybe they'll come good. Maybe if I give them a bit more time. No. If they're shit, they're shit. And I recently came across that where I had an employee, employed them within 4 weeks, and then I called you up one day and it was funny. And I go, hey, that person? You're like, yep, I fired him. Like, and you thought I was joking for about 15 minutes. Like, come on, mate. Just what's going on? What's going on? I'm serious. I got rid of them. How'd they go? But duds, you know, their expectation, my expectation wasn't there. I wasn't willing to compromise the role for that person in their role to feel more comfortable. And I tried, like, to the degree of, if there were things that weren't going to compromise their service to the company and to me, would have done it, no worries. Do you know what I mean? Like if they wanted a heater under the desk, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, no worries. I'll compromise, I'll do whatever we need to do. You want to get some nice flowers in here? Great. We'll do that.
That's your compromise? I'll give you a heater. I'll give you a heater for your legs.
That's it. That's it. Nothing else. But do you know what I mean? I'm saying I would do things to make it more comfortable for them, not just physically, but environmentally. And whatever they need in their role to be better perform. Maybe they wanted more training. No worries, let's get that. Like I would do those things. But when you start, like say for example, we've had this conversation, I don't like the whole working from home thing. Like I actually put it in the ad, this isn't a work from home role. Are you okay to be commuting and coming to the office every single day? And you know, the people that ticked yes, great, we're going to the next interview. The people that did no, straight off, like they were completely disqualified. And they came to me later going, oh, I want an opportunity. I want to be able to have more flexible work hours. So hang on. Your role is personal assistant. Okay. I want you at my beck and call whenever I need something done, not going, oh shit, it's Tuesday, they're not working today. And I said that in the interview and I said it in the questionnaire before you apply. So you're fully aware of what I wanted and now the goalposts are changing. I'm like, nah, not on. And I wasn't willing to compromise on that, plus other things, and got rid of him. Just like that. And I'm glad I did. And I'll do it again. And I'll do it again. And I'll do it again until I find the right person. So I think to date, I've been relatively lucky with employees. I've had a pretty good run. I've had good heads in and around the company. And I find that when you get the right ones, they stick. They'll be here for a while.
What determines the right one?
I think attitude is massive. I can teach skills. I can't teach attitude. And someone that's going to fit within the culture too. So I've done quite a few interviews lately, and I've just walked in here and I'm actually sick of talking to people and interviewing, but you got to go through that process.
It's the worst.
Yeah. I thought I would enjoy it more than I am.
I think it is one of the key fundamentals that most people suck at. That you need to be good at.
I'm following a script too.
Are you?
Yeah. I wrote one down and you would know about it. We've done it in an NLP training. Metaprogramming. A little bit, not all of them, but some of them.
You find it works?
Some of the questions, yes. Not all of them. Just in as far as listening to their language, like we were just talking about before, excellent, all that sort of stuff. Listening to their language and how they respond to certain questions gives me a bit more of a idea what they're going to be like. But what I've found is most people are actually duds when it comes to, but even to the interview, like sell yourself, man.
Yeah.
Like you're there to sell yourself to me. This is a sale. And they can't, when talking about sales, it's fucked at the moment. Like people can't do it and it's hard.
Yeah.
That is a sale. When you were going for a job,
you're selling yourself.
You were selling yourself. Like pump that shit up. Every single person I've interviewed, I felt like I was trying to pump them up to get excited about coming to work here. There was one person that I interviewed today and she may not be the best skilled out of all the ones that I've interviewed, but so far she's a front runner because I'm like, you were keen to actually work. You were excited to work. You had done your research on me and the company before you even got onto the interview. Do you know, that is what I found fascinating. So many people, like I said, tell me a little bit about why you applied for the role at the company. What excites you about working here?
Oh, that's a shit question.
Yeah, but I want to just see, it's not about the question. I want to see, have you fucking done any research on Pascon? Have you gone onto Instagram and looked at me? Have you done anything to show any level of interest? It's not the question. I don't give a shit about whether you have studied what projects I finished.
Yeah, like that's
no, like I just want to know, have you done any level of due diligence before you stepped into that, before you stepped onto this Zoom call? And 90% of them have not. Some of them have. I go, yeah, I love that project in Brighton that you're doing. That's awesome. I see that you're doing this. Okay, cool. That's all I want to know with that question. I don't care about anything else. But also I want to know why they're applying for the role. That was me, don't worry.
Yeah,
it wasn't Iggy. Little mic noise and Robby straight away looks at Iggy as like, what are you doing?
I don't use I know the questions you're talking about, like the meta programming questions. I don't use them because I don't know anyone that's used them successfully.
Okay. There was only, out of all of them, there's 3 questions. I don't go 1 to 15 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
there was 3 questions out of it that I would ask. And one of them was if we're to do a project together, are you a details person or a big picture person?
Yeah, so it's like
Correct. So I just want to know which one they are. I would like someone that comes into this role to be a details person because I'm big picture. I know this is what I want to do. I want to know the person that I give the role to or the task to is going to have all the details checked, done, and I don't need to worry about it. So that one I look at. Can't remember what the other one was, but yeah, nothing too, I don't go in depth with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is a skill to it too.
Oh, dude, I think it's a huge skill. I think it is something you need to, and we've touched on this previously, but I think it's one of those things that you need to constantly be building on.
Yeah.
Like even when you're not, to have a pipeline.
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're going to do it all the time.
Yeah, be like, hey, like this person is a good contact. Like I might hire them one day and keep contact.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And maintain those relationships so that when the opportunity comes around, the new role pops up, whatever it might be, you're like, cool, I know a few people I can call for this.
Yeah.
Or you might say, hey, do you know anyone? I need a PA. Do you know anyone?
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, I actually know someone.
Yeah.
So-and-so, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that goes a long way.
Yeah, dude. Two things. One, you connect two good people together.
Yeah.
Like two people that you care about, you just help them both out. You know what I mean? So-and-so needed the job, so-and-so needed the role filled. Boom. Happy days, right? And I think that's one thing we fail to do. Like we don't, when the problem's gone, we don't focus on that anymore. Like we don't think about, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be like not thinking about food until you're hungry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck, I'm hungry. Well, I'm going to eat.
Yeah, and then you eat anything.
Yeah. And then you literally eat anything, just like you hire anyone.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
and that's what I didn't want to do this time around because I need someone. I've got an event next weekend and I need someone to help me out with it. I've got backup, it's fine. But in this perspective but I made it a very clear point to myself. I'm not going to just hire anyone. I want to hire the right person. And I thought I don't regret that hire that I did of the person I let go. Don't regret it. They started off well and they were at the time the right hire and they were the right person for their role. Their expectation changed. Mine wasn't willing to change and just came to a crossroad. That was a simple decision for me in the end. But I also look at it from the perspective of, I reckon if I was to go for any job in my field, guaranteed I would get it. As in if I was going to apply for a job now at X and such building company. Don't worry, done. Just get the contract ready on the day. I've got that much confidence in myself to be able to sell myself to them and say, this is the best hire. I am the best hire for you. Just get rid of all your other applications. Let's do it.
okay, so what should someone who's listening to this now who wants to apply for a job,
Yeah.
what should that person,
Yes. If you actually genuinely want the job. So you found a company.
how do you know if you want the job?
How do you know?
Yeah, before you've interviewed. Because
Well, I
you know
suppose
my
you
thing,
could then also-
I used to always say, I'm interviewing here.
What do you mean?
When I would go in for an interview, I would say like, I want to see if I want to work there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
There's some good questions you could ask. I would be asking, so tell me, what are the career paths opportunities for me in this role? If someone said that to me, that straight away shows me, okay, great, future growth. They've got that in mind. They're a high performer. They want to see that there is progression in this career that they're pursuing in this company. I would personally like that. And a lot of people don't say stuff like that. But let's go back one step to prepare. Say you like the company, you like the role, everything looks good on paper. First thing you want to do is definitely do a bit of research on the company, on the directors, whatever you can. Now it's so easy. It's so easy these days. Most people have some form of social media presence from a professional background. Could be just LinkedIn, could be social media, Instagram, Facebook, the works. Furthermore to that, you can look at the company. 90% of companies these days are doing some form of social media, not just their website. People used to just go to the website back in the day, but now there's so many more things that you can actually look at and study. Then from there, I would prepare. So I would prepare as far as, okay, well, what do I want out of this? What questions could I ask this potential employer about things that are important to me? And then how can I impress them? How can I put my best foot forward? How can I show, cool, this is what I'm about. This is what we do. This is how I can fulfill. This is I reckon there was one time when I went for a job at a company and I know what got me the job. I sat there, and this is before I was really that experienced in that space. I actually said to the two directors interviewing me, I said, listen, I go, I feel that the experience that I've had through commercial tier one construction experience, I can bring a lot of that experience to you and to the company, give you a whole bunch of systems, policies, procedures that I can implement or that I can just show if you want, and help bring some significant improvement in my time that I'm working with you, right? So someone showing that they're willing to come in and do the work, do extra, want to be a part of the journey, it's like a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And that's what I've been a little bit disappointed in, that people just didn't have that real hunger for the job. It's like, oh yeah, I want this job, but yeah, if I get it, great. If not, then that's cool too. What would you do? Or what would you like to see from an applicant?
So from as the person hiring or being hired?
No, the person hiring.
As the person hiring. I'm hiring at the moment.
Yeah.
Same position, first round of interviews. No. Like you just, I follow a, so I spoke about this book once called Top Grading.
Yeah.
I actually follow a method from there. Yes. I actually follow a method from there where they're big on past history. And I always ask the question of, okay, what was your last job? Why'd you leave? How long were you there for? What did you like the least about it? And then I say, if I called, and this is directly from the book, okay, to your best guess, if I called your boss, if I called him now, what would he say about you? What would he say your biggest weakness is?
Yeah, that's good.
And then
I care too much.
And then I work too hard. I don't let you pay me overtime. And then my follow up to that is, okay, we're big on doing our homework on things. Would you be happy to arrange an interview with them? Do you know what I mean? So are you happy to arrange for me to speak with them? And they either freak, or they say yes. And it's apparently one of the biggest things that supposedly.
Would you, if you gone down that path and asked those questions?
Yeah.
And would you follow through and have a chat with their past employer?
I haven't hired anyone yet. I haven't done that. Level? I think it's probably worth it, yeah. Because if they're a really good person, like let's just say, for example, I'm sure you'd have some previous people that you've worked with where you're like, hey man, this guy was a great guy. Like, and I wish him nothing but the best. And for what he wanted now, the next step for him wasn't here.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I look at my personal career path in that space. I always left. Actually, once I got made redundant, but the other two times I left. But I think each of those, every single person I've ever worked with or for, they would give me a glowing review, no sweat. No sweat.
I think a big red flag as well is when they sit there dissing their old workplace.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm thinking back to most of my employees that worked for me in the past that have left. Most of them I would happily give a review. And that's the thing. I look at it from a perspective, like you're a temporary custodian of your role in this company. You said it the other day. Eventually you're going to leave. You might die. You might be 90 years old, but you're going to not work here one day. You know what I mean?
Not going to be here one day.
You're not going to be here one day. So everyone's a temporary custodian in that role in the business at some stage of their life. And I look at it that way. I don't care if you're with me for 5 years, 1 year, 10 years, whatever it is. Doesn't bother me. As long as when you're here, you're here. You know, you're committed, you're pushing in the right direction, you enjoy the process, you enjoy the journey, do the hard yards, and have a little fun. And success.
What is success?
Doing sick shit.
Here's a question. I was thinking about this, so I have to have this conversation with somebody the other day. If money became no longer a thing, for whatever reason, okay, you won the lottery, you crushed it, whatever it is, you know, universal basic income came into play, whatever it is, money became no longer a thing. What are the things that you do now that you would no longer do? Like, would you still do everything exactly the same? Is there certain parts of what you do from a business standpoint? Because it's the main reason, like most people are in business for money. From a business standpoint, what would change?
What's the payoff?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be putting in all this level of effort For what purpose?
Well, let's just say,
I
for
love
example,
building houses. Do you know what I mean?
no, I don't know. You might.
That's what I mean. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from the perspective of what's the.
Let's say you won the
payoff for me to
lottery.
Do that.
You won $80 million.
Yeah. The only difference I think
How
for
much the lottery
myself. Don't know. No, don't buy tickets.
Really?
Yeah. I'd say the only thing I would look at and go, all right, this is
It's so funny.
the only thing I would do differently here at the construction business is I probably wouldn't do many client projects. I just do my own shit.
But you still build.
Yeah, I think so. Or I'd even employ builders to do it for me. That's probably another avenue that I would actually probably look at more so, because then there's less liability, because we as builders have to warrant the thing post completion. So I'd probably even employ builders. So I'd probably become more of a developer type person. Maybe build my own. Probably whatever I want, I'll do. Do you know what I mean? From that perspective. Whereas now,
Why would you develop?
why would I?
Yeah.
To keep active, first of all, in the sense mentally. Yeah. Not just to be sitting there going, okay, what car am I going to drive today? Because it would get to that point where you're like,
I would podcast every day.
that'd be pretty cool
I would
too.
literally just think about like Joe Rogan. Do you know what I mean? He drops like 3 episodes a week.
Yeah.
Like he would podcast a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he would have to at least, and his podcast drop real quick.
Yeah.
Like he podcasts and it's out 2 days later.
Yeah.
Full episode or whatever. And I feel like I would just do that
Cool.
full time.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be pretty fun to do that too.
Yeah.
I think I would still, because you podcast 2 hours a day?
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing I would do is I'd get into private equity.
Yep.
Yeah. And I would go and I would play the business game at the highest level,
Mm.
and I would absorb companies and absorb equity in companies and just play that game.
Yeah.
So they're like, all
I
right,
think I would play a different business game too, actually. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like play at that level.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be more fun.
Yeah. You would try, exactly right. Because, what I do is stressful. It's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of deadlines.
There's always stress.
Yeah, I know.
It's not
but I
like
feel
if you're playing $100 million game, the stress doesn't just go away.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm just thinking there's easier ways to do it. There's easier levels of stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I look at it from that perspective with what I'm doing now. I'd probably continue doing a lot more of the event stuff too, just for the little while. Like I wondered that the other day. I was like, would I get sick of this being on stage? I actually really enjoyed doing the actual event on the day. The lead up to it is a bit of a pain in the ass. Just
don't have anyone to manage it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So would that make it better if it was the other way around? Yeah, it could be. Could be.
If you were no longer managing it.
Yeah. But also from the perspective of even like doing all the lead-in stuff, the marketing, all the campaigns, can be a bit of a pain. But I think that's just because I haven't had anyone to help lately over the last sort of 3 months.
Yeah.
But once, again, we get the right people in, that will change again as well.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if I would.
If you would what? I'll continue on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I would.
Do you know what I want to do? I just want to crack that $1 million in a day.
Yeah. I didn't say that's it.
Yeah. Even though you're worth 150, it's like, no, let's just do it. Maybe it'll give you more credibility then. Do you know what I mean? Do a lead in, I'll get Iggy to do a sick video of us rocking up off the super yacht onto the onto the car, catch the chopper into the building.
I don't think I would. That's true. I think this would be the only thing that I'm doing right now that I would continue to do. This and creating content.
Yeah, I do enjoy creating content.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do much.
A lot of that but the funny thing is, like, again, comes back, you can do that now.
What?
You can do podcasting every 2 days. You can create content every single day.
Yeah, do almost.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's more so about just what would you continue to do if? What behaviors would change if circumstances changed?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What do you do now that you'd no longer do? What are you doing only for certain things that?
I think I probably wouldn't be here as often.
As in the office?
Yeah.
Where you'd work from home?
No, I just work from home. This guy. Just out of spite, I wouldn't work from home. I get rid of my own.
Oh, yeah. I feel like...
No, I'd probably take more. There'd be more days off. Like, there'd be days where I just wouldn't bother coming to the office.
4-day work week?
Even less. Even less. Even less. You know what I mean? But I'd have people doing stuff for me. Yeah. I would probably have definitely someone following me around to the extent.
Camera?
No, yeah, maybe, but even
like
just
media.
No, not even that. Like I'm talking real
Like
proper PA.
Oh, like,
you know what I mean?
read my emails too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, anything, just anything I need, just get it done. Get it done. I would look at ways to make my life really efficient. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I think the role you're looking for is not a PA. I think it's an EA.
Yeah, that's right. But I've got to test the waters first and see which way I'm going to build up to it. Do you know what I mean? With the EAPA.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't exactly know. I've never had one before. So for me...
EA?
Yeah, both.
But isn't the difference
What's the difference,
really...
exactly?
Huh?
What's the difference?
I was going to explain it. 1 second.
Oh, shit. Jump on the gun.
Isn't the difference between the two, and I could be wrong, but isn't the difference that one is professional and one is like, you're my executive assistant. Like, so in my professional role, you manage all that and that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas a PA is like, go get my dry cleaning.
Oh, so I want a combination of both.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean? I would want a combination. Whether I necessarily need the dry cleaning done, it's not necessarily that. But, okay, for example, I'm going to the football next weekend to the final game of the round in Launceston. I'd be like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Yeah, first time, never been.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, it'd be good going with my son to watch the footy. And I want to go to them. Yeah, they're the dates sorted out. I book it all. Flights, accommodation, go. I think that's more personal than business.
That's way more personal.
Yeah, so I want someone to have, there'll be a combination of both. That's why I've said the PA type role. Whereas EA, you're right, it's probably more, this is just business related. You're not going to get the coffee. You're not going to get my dry cleaning. You're not going to book my flights on the weekend. You're here for business purposes. And then your EA would probably have a PA.
You reckon?
Eventually, if you get, now we're talking, you get that piece. I know people that have done that with their
EA has a PA.
Yeah. I've heard of that too.
That's insane. I've never heard that.
You sent me a post the other day. The new CEO of Starbucks,
Yes.
113 mil, was it? Signing bonus or something like that?
That's an exorbitant amount of money, isn't it?
Yeah. I put a post up on that. I was curious to see what people thought about it. Let me see if I can find it. But I put it up because I know I've thought most people, and we're going to see on this post shortly, on this poll that I would have done, would say that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Is it?
You don't think so?
Why?
It's just a large sum of money for a
relative.
salary.
All relative, isn't it? But why? So why doesn't he deserve it?
I didn't say he doesn't deserve it.
So why is it ridiculous?
How much money is Starbucks making?
Huh? $1 billion company.
Dude, they'd be making way more than that.
Yeah.
To offer a signing bonus for 100 mil, they're not going to pay him 1% of their profit. Do you know what I mean? They're going to pay way less than that. Yeah, and just for the record, if they pay him 1%, that means they're profiting 10 billion.
Okay. Yeah, the polls, 45% said yes, well deserved. 55% no, that's stupid.
So it's fairly almost
there.
Almost split down the guts.
Yeah.
That's a
sign-in bonus of 113 mil, one of the largest in history. I mean, what's he bring to the role?
It's a big sum of money, man.
Yeah, but if they're looking at it from the perspective of this guy's going to make us $3 billion,
yeah,
or $10 billion, and I'm paying him 113. Maybe he came in and said, look, give me the afternoon. I'll show you how we can turn this from 1 billion to 10 billion, but I want 113 mil signing bonus. And they go, yeah, okay, if you do that, no worries. Here you go, bang. And he does it and he delivers. So why isn't he worth it? Something's happened. There's the value. When value exceeds price, people make decisions.
I think you're...
So Mr. Starbuck would have looked at that and said, you've done something enough for me to go give you this much money. Or they're laundering money. I don't know. Something's going on.
Yeah, but I think...
They're trying to avoid tax evasion. There's tax evasion going on something there.
I think you're... the conversation about it being ridiculous doesn't necessarily equate to he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can look at something like, you can look at the UFC. They bought it for $2 million. They sold it for $4 billion. That's ridiculous. Sick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, all right. Dana White.
Let's get him on the show.
Oh, fuck, dude, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I reckon he's one of, like, you know what I'm a fan of? I'm a fan of people who have come from nothing.
Yeah, the underdog.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because there's no excuse. There's no, oh, but this, oh, but that, oh, but they got, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't say any, that's why I like Hormozy so much, man. Because he just reminds me that I'm not, like, yeah, I'm shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anytime I start to get ahead of myself, like, sit down, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy's a couple of years older than you, and he will put you into the ground, like, with his knowledge, with his everything. And but I like that. You know what I mean? Like, I respect him for that, because he didn't come from...
Yeah, from money, from...
Yeah, he came, like, you know what I mean? He was just, he's almost self-made, self-taught. And Dana White is that. Dana White is that, dude. Dana White came from nothing.
Yeah.
You know? And Dana White, people don't know this. Dana White, talking about him like I know him. When they first brought into the UFC, do you know what percentage he got of the UFC?
No.
10%.
Of 2 mil?
He got 10% of the whole company.
Yeah.
When he first bought in with the people he bought in with.
Yeah.
It was his idea, everything. And he got 10%. And if you talk to most people today and you say, hey, like, most people would never take that deal. They'd be like, 10%, what? And these other guys are going to get everything. And, but, you know,
he didn't have the money.
Huh?
He wouldn't have, what? He wouldn't have had the money. He just came out.
The money, no.
So
yeah.
He goes, cool, I'm going to bring you a deal. All right, it's a good deal, but I want you to just put 10% in.
And he had to stay and run it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had to stay and run it. And obviously he got paid a salary and everything else. Okay. But, dude, he sold out. He got 400 mil. $400 million.
Yeah.
That guy would never he's a massive gambler, by the way. That guy would, he talks about it openly.
Has he? How funny.
Yeah, he lives in Vegas.
Best place to live if you're a gambler.
$400 million. He would never think about money.
Yeah.
Like, he would never sit there like, bills.
How much is electricity this month?
How much does your mind change when that happens?
Yeah.
Like never. Like, car. Yeah, all right, make sure it's got every option. Like, no, I don't care how much it is.
Don't even care if I don't like it.
Yeah.
Put it on there.
Put it on there and then I'll take it off later. Do you know what I mean? Like, life would be different.
It would. And what I liked about that post that you put up the other day, or that you sent me, is it is a reminder that, like, that level of wealth is out there. You know, people are like, oh, how do I get 100 grand this year? How do I get to triple figures? How do I get 150? How do I get a 10K pay rise?
It's also the next goalposts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. There would be a time in your life where you thought about making as much money as you make now.
Without a doubt.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I used to think, I remember
there.
thinking in uni, going, fuck, you know, when I graduate, I could make $100,000. What the fuck? That's going to be bent, it's going to be loaded.
Yeah.
Go buy a HSV. Like, I'll be set for life. You know what I mean?
That was the dream.
That was the dream.
Make 100K, buy a HSV.
Get a VT HSV, and I would have been set for life. That's it. That's all I needed.
So how do you stop? Okay. When's enough enough? When is it? Like, you said, I sent you that.
Yeah.
And your response to me was not enough. And I said dangerous words.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Was it you saying this to me, or was it someone else?
I'm not sure. Was it
It
good?
was about the.
It was,
100% of you. It's like, what's the difference between the man that has 100 million and then the guy that doesn't? It was you, yeah. We did have the conversation. I didn't say it from the perspective of it's never enough. It's not like if I had 700 million or 500 million that I have to have a billion. Do you know what I mean? It's more just I don't want to become complacent. That's all.
Oh, 100%.
That's all I mean by when's enough. It's never.
Yeah.
No. I just don't ever want that complacency to go, no, I'm just going to live out my life. If I genuinely get fulfillment from that, different story. Like if I get fulfillment from, you know what, I'm just going to go float on the yacht for the next 6 years. I'm not going to shave. I'm just going to bathe in the ocean.
That'd be sick. I haven't shaved in ages.
But you know what I mean? That's how I would look at it and go, if that gives me fulfillment, no worries, I'll do that. But if it doesn't, then what's the next thing? I don't want that sitting there being bored. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I'll go for a big deal. Well, what's now? So that's why I would always want to challenge myself to go, okay, cool, I've got 5. Well, what's $1 billion look like? Maybe I will go to $1 billion because at least it pushes me there. And if I get to $1 billion, it's not having the $1 billion because there's not much you can do with $1 billion that you can't do with 500,000. What's the difference?
I think, someone, I can't remember who said this. Someone said above 20 million, everything's the same.
Yeah, I think it was actually your mate.
My mate?
Yeah, Andrew Tate.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure he said that. Yeah. Anything like once you get to that $20 million mark, there's almost
everything. You can pretty much do anything.
Yeah,
anything.
Okay. You may not buy a jet or a super yacht. Yeah, exactly. You go get one for the weekend. So that's right. So that's all it was for me. When you asked me that question, when's enough? I just don't think I'd want it to be. I'd want to have something to keep going. And then also, I've got kids as well, so I don't want them to see me and I don't want them to be just like, hey, we've got the easy life now. I think it might have been Dana White saying this as well. No, it was Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said this. And he was saying that one of the fucked up things that I've noticed with all the people that he's interviewed over the years, the highly successful ones, the ones that have achieved amazing things, just extraordinary shit, have all come from really difficult backgrounds, upbringing, adversity. Yeah, that's what I mean. And that's why there's so often you see kids with silver spoons or people that have just had everything given to them. It doesn't serve them in the best way possible.
You know what though? I also think that is a mindset that we're fed.
As a generalization.
It's a massive generalization, dude. I reckon there is way more success that comes from success than bad people that come from success.
I don't say bad. I
Spoiled,
think it's really,
ruined.
really driven by the people that have the money in the first place. All right? So if you...
To deter you away?
No. Say for your generation, for your kids. Okay, you tomorrow, business takes off and you're worth $800 million. Okay, your children, how you determine now the actions that you're going to take with your children, they're just going to be like, oh, cool, have this, turns 18, here's a Ferrari, here's a house in the Maldives, like here's everything. You're going to spoil that kid. But you drive that person for, to have that level of success. You need to be the driver of that, because if you take the easy route, that's going to really spoil them.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's...
But that's what I mean. I think that's where it comes from. A lot of people have that. It's easy. It's like you said, they want to give it, you want to give your kids everything you never had. And it's not really the right life lessons to give them.
Yeah, good intention, bad move.
Yeah.
But do you think more people do that than not?
I don't know.
Yes, what's your guess?
I'd say, okay, if I had to guess, I'd say it's the other way around. I'd say more people wouldn't.
Yeah, 100%.
The reason I say, no, I think I'm disagreeing with you.
What?
Yeah, I think it would, because it's human nature. It's human nature to take the path of least resistance. So I think some people, yes, not intentionally wanting to damage their children, but would give them everything easy because they've got the money.
You reckon more would?
I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm assuming yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I would think just because it's easier and they think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I don't think.
You don't know? You don't think so?
I don't think many people think they're doing the right thing anymore. Like, I would. It's hey, you're pulling the cables. I think it's very common knowledge now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how do we know it?
How do we know what?
That. Like, how do we know? Everyone knows that. Like, oh, don't give your kids everything. It spoils them.
Yeah, but it's probably easy. No, well, we're saying that from a place of not having hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank as well.
Yeah. You think it's easier to say it? You think it'd be harder if you had it all?
Yeah, I do. If you had it all, I think say me as a parent, if I had everything right now, the hundreds of millions of dollars, I think people would be more inclined to want to give everything to everyone. So their loved ones, their nearest and dearest, like give it to them for free because they've got it. You know, if you've got $800 million, you've got generational wealth. Okay, so you want to give them, why not? My son, he can have a Ferrari. It's all right, it's a big deal. Like, take it, do this, have that. You want to go on a holiday? Absolutely, go first class.
Do you reckon?
Jet. I think people would, yeah, I really do. Take the jet, where do you want to go this weekend? Just take your mates, go for a cruise.
It's interesting.
I think people would do that if you had that level of wealth.
A majority.
They would probably think, well, why wouldn't, like, what, am I going to teach you? No, you're going to fly economy. Teach you a lesson. I didn't have that when I was your age. Do you know what I mean? Is it going to be that level? I don't know. I don't think many people would. So it really comes up to if you do, and that's fine. Like if you're going to have that 800 million, you're going to give them, cool, take the private jet. But make sure they understand what it took for you to for them to get onto that plane. Make sure they understand, make sure they have that appreciation. Make sure maybe they work for it.
Yeah, that's
so
what
you
I'm
want to
saying.
get onto the jet, that's cool. You got to come and work at the company.
That's the right thing.
That's right.
Not the...
But I don't know how many people would do that. That's all I'm getting at. That's all I'm getting at. I don't know. I'd like to think it's the other way around. Even again, when I get to that position where you've got an abundance of money, I wouldn't want my kids to be thinking, yeah, easy street. We've got an easy street. Because I'll be like, oi,
this is my money.
Me and your mum are rich.
Yeah.
All right? You one poor motherfucker. Shaq says that.
Yeah.
He says that.
There's a few people that say that. I think Steve.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Harvey.
Yes.
Steve Harvey says that as well. He's like, not leaving the kids anything.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll leave them a little bit to make sure that they're okay. I'm spending the rest. Yeah, it's a very interesting concept, huh? Because I feel like if you ask people, most people would know. I guess most people know not to eat McDonald's too.
Yeah. That's it.
Path of least resistance.
Yeah. I see it all the time, man. Think about it. When you start watching, I reckon that you see it everywhere. People will always 90% of the time take the easy way. Probably do it yourself. I reckon I've done it. Probably still do. I'm taking ice baths. First thing you said to me today, hey, jump in an ice bath. Oh, it's nice and warm in my shower. What am I going to jump in an ice bath for? You know what I mean? Even though I know it'll be good for me. Physically, mentally, it's too cold. People avoid looking at numbers. Oh, no, it's all right. We've got money in the bank. We're okay.
Yeah.
People avoid spending money on marketing. Don't know what for. If I'm going to spend money on marketing, I've got heaps of referrals. I get referrals all the time.
Path of least resistance.
So what do you need to do to train yourself out of that then? Even something small like you're saying, doing your ice baths. Doing something in the morning that you don't want to do. Training your brain, when I say go, it means go. Going for a run. Athletes would have that in them too.
Fuck, I hate running.
But if you've ever played any level of sport.
Do you like running?
No, I've never been a huge fan of it. Like as in going for a road run, not really. Did I enjoy it? But when I was playing football, no worries, I'd run all day. no hesitation.
chasing the ball.
Yeah, chasing the ball, like playing the sport, no sweat. Training, yeah, no worries running. But go for a road run now, not really. Don't enjoy it. But you look at athletes, like they've got that level where they've got to push through the pain barrier. There's that level of discomfort. That's what it is. It's discomfort. People are avoiding discomfort. You say it, people avoid pain more than they seek pleasure. Deal or no deal, I was watching it the other day. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so open the suitcases, there's $100 in there. Oh, well, $100. The guy got to the very last 2 suitcases. I don't know how many times this has ever happened, but it happened this night. I was watching it. And he had 50 cents and $100,000. They were the 2 suitcases that were left. One of the suitcases had $100K. And then the bank offer was $50K. What would you have done?
Me?
Yeah.
I would have taken it.
Taking the $50K?
100%.
Yeah. So, but yeah, 50 chance.
I know, but the 50-50 chance you're going to hang yourself.
Yeah, I know, but it was a I thought about that saying, avoid pain, get pleasure. He avoided pain.
What did you do?
He took the $50K.
I think that's a no-brainer in
Isn't
that
it?
position, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have any money as well, yeah, absolutely it is.
I think it's a no-brainer no matter what.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fucking ballsy. What a story it would be.
Hey?
I don't know what I would do.
What?
Yeah. I'd almost want to do it just as be the guy that did it. You know what I mean?
But as in the guy that did it and got it, or the guy that did it and lost everything?
Doesn't
matter. I'm that guy. I'm him. Hey man, I've seen you before.
Yeah, fucking I'm the guy that won 50 cents.
But George, you are in a position that you can take the risk, isn't it?
No,
100K, dude. 100K would.
No, 100 or 50. You're risking 50 to make 50. You've got 50 in the bank.
Yeah, well, you're not. No, hold on. You're not risking 50. You're risking 100.
Oh, sorry.
All
yeah,
for
99,
nothing.
99.
Yeah, you're either gonna hit 100 or you're gonna hit 50 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I would take the 50.
Yeah.
Every
I
single
know, I would.
time.
I'm just saying I would want to.
And then I would go to the casino and put it all back. And then
I'm just saying I would want to. I'd want to be the guy who goes, nah, fuck it, let's go. Let's go.
why?
Why not? What a story.
You strike me as a gambler.
I'm not a gambler at
Yeah,
all.
I've never seen you
I'm
ever.
not a gambler. Actually, it
Never
annoys me.
seen you put
It annoys
a bet on a game. Nothing.
But I don't know. I'd walk in there like I didn't have this when I walked in. And really, is 50 grand going to change my life? Probably not.
What's the figure that would change your life? Like, what would no, not your life. What's the figure that would change? Because I think everyone thinks 100 grand would completely change my life, and I think most people it won't, and they don't understand that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Nothing
But most people who don't have 100 grand would think 100K would change everything for me.
I think it'll probably just get some people out of debt.
Dude,
It'll get them out of their credit card debts, maybe pay off a couple of bills,
but then
go
they're
on a holiday, and then they're back.
and then they're probably back to where
15K.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'll be back to where they were.
Exactly. And then they go get they load up the credit card again.
Do you reckon $1 million is life changing?
If you're smart with it, yes.
Yeah, it's not set though.
No, it's not set for life.
But
At least
you could be up to a pretty fucking good start.
you go buy you can go buy a $2 million home for $1 million, right?
You can go buy fucking
And you got $8 million,
home.
whatever it might be. You've got yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But you've got to be able to afford the repayments. They probably won't be able to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm saying you could go buy a nice home, and you're probably going to be set as far as paying that thing off sooner rather than later. That's all I would do if you had that $1 million.
Is that what you would do?
Not me. I'm just saying if I was in that position.
Yeah, interesting, huh?
Yeah. So what would that figure be to change, to be actually life-changing? You'd probably say 5 to 10. For a normal...
You need 5 to never work.
Never work.
To not have to work again.
Really?
Yeah, I think 5 mil. You could do it.
Fuck.
You don't reckon you can do it 5 mil? You could, dude. You could put 5 mil, invest 5 mil, get a 5% return. That's 250K a year. You can live off.
Yeah, people won't do that though.
People won't do.
They'll go buy the house, they'll go buy a car, and they'll be left with a couple mil in the bank. Or a
Yeah,
mil.
but that's just, you know what I mean? Or you can do that and get 250K a year and continue doing what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? And then go and invest that 250K every year. Like, it's just, dog shit. It's just.
I don't like you sitting here, mate. That was all you.
Oh, what?
She's just lying on the ground, chilling out.
That's been That's. Yeah.
It sounds like a similar story about lottery winners because most of them blow everything up.
Yeah.
There was one case of a guy who actually spent it very smart and he didn't buy any houses, anything at all, and he just lives off of it, just like Robby said.
What?
There's actually one guy.
So he's getting something.
Yeah, he actually did that. Like he won the lottery in 2004 or something.
He just he puts the 20 mil in the bank and gets his return per annum.
Yeah.
And lives off that.
Yeah. There is actually one living guy. I don't know anybody else, but most of them just blow it away.
Yeah, I think the study is something along the lines of 3 years, and they're in a worse position than what they were before they won. Most people.
You almost have to lock it away, I reckon, for a year. Calm your farm.
Well, Warren Buffett
properly.
Warren Buffett says, he says, if you now got all the money in the world and split it evenly among everyone, give it, I can't remember the time frame he says, I think it's, 5 years or something, give it 5 years and most of the money would end up back with the people who have it now.
Yeah, how funny.
Yeah, because they just understand it's your habits, it's, you know what I mean? They understand the game.
Yeah.
It's a game. And your bank account's your score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true.
Very true. Anything else you'd like to touch on?
No.
That's it.
No.
By the time this airs,
Yeah.
it'll be last week of August. Almost September. Be like fucking 4 months left in the year.
4 months left in the year. We're already talking about coming into the Christmas rush for us. Like we've got a job where we've got to be at a certain level so we can actually finish it next year. So, and I'm like, fuck, there's actually not that much time left to do all of that stuff, let alone everything else we have to do in the meantime as well.
Yeah,
So you're right, man. We're talking at the start of the year. What are your goals?
This podcast's about to hit a year.
Very cool, isn't it? Very cool. But we're talking at the start of the year as far as even for all our listeners. Like you set your goals. What are they? What are you trying to achieve? What do you want to do? How do you want to get there? Like reassess. 3/4 of the way through. 3/4 of the way through. Well, what's changed? What needs to change? You still got, man, a lot can happen in 3 to 4 months. A lot can happen.
It's very true.
But a lot of people still think, oh, I'll just see at the end of the year. She'll be right. Complacency. That's what I'm saying. Like path of least resistance. It's easier not to worry about that stuff. It's easier just to clock in, day out, do the things.
In 4 months' time, we're going to be halfway through the decade that COVID started in.
Yeah.
That's scary. We're going to be halfway through that decade. In the 5th year of the decade, when COVID started, we're halfway through that decade.
Yeah. That's mental, isn't it?
That's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah, that's nuts. All right. On that note, if you know that there's some things that you have been meaning to do this year that you haven't done yet, and one of those things might be subscribing to this channel.
I knew you were going there. That's why I just wanted to bathe in the glory.
I can see where this is going.
Because it helps us, man. It helps us. It helps you. It helps everyone on their journey, on their entrepreneurial journey, on their life journey to achieve greatness. Because, we talk about this stuff today like following the path of least resistance. That's what most people do. We're here at 10 to 8 on a Monday night filming this. Do you know how easy it could have been just to stay at home and watch TV? Very easy. Or just chill out, just do nothing else, very easy. But we're here. And we're doing this from a sense of wanting to achieve great things in the podcast world, in business, but also to help you guys. Because that way, you can then go out and have your little gems of success. You can go out and do all the shit that you want to do, and then you can go and tell everyone it's because I listened to $1 Million Days.
Another thing I'd like to add to that is a massive, just a moment of gratitude for everyone listening to this, dude. You know, when you guys reach out to us, like either one, like someone told me the other day that they're going to go on the health journey now because they heard about what I do. And I'm like, how good is that? Yeah. Like I probably just extended someone's life. Yeah. Yeah, indirectly.
No shit.
Do you know what I mean? Like how cool is that, man? And honestly, like we love to hear it
so much. We always send each other the messages.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, look at this. It's just cool, man.
How good was it the other day? We literally toured Australia doing an event, and then we had multiple people coming up to us saying, "Oh man, love the podcast."
Yeah.
One of the guys, I can't remember who it was. Forgot his name. He goes, dude. He goes, the whole reason I'm here is because I listen to your podcast.
In Melbourne,
yeah. Bought your ticket, coming here, and he's bought his ticket to the next event. We're going to see him next week. And he's got other stuff coming to do with you as well. Like the connections that you can make are absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I can't wait to see where this journey takes us because, you know, I've had some people that are known in other industries that if I dropped a name now, everyone would know who he is, saying, hey, I was listening to your podcast the other day. How cool is that? Can I come on? I said, yeah, absolutely. I'll have a chat. I'll let you know. But it's like...
When are you going to get this person on?
I'll let you know.
Go on.
No, but the idea is it's only going to get to that point where eventually everyone will know. Do you know what I mean? It's going to get to that point. It's because we keep persistently going against the path of least resistance. This is hard. We take time out of our day. You can like it. Some people like doing push-ups. Some people like going for runs. It's not easy.
How many push-ups can you do?
At least 50.
Oh, you can do 50 push-ups?
No, I reckon. Look, I'll be sweating at 20.
Yeah, straight away.
I'm not sweating, but it'll be hard work.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I reckon I could do 50.
50 is good effort.
Yeah. But what I was getting at is if you guys want extraordinary things in your life, then you have to do things that other people are not. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. And the beauty of what that means in your life is because 90% of the people on this planet are doing the path of least resistance, you only have to work this much harder. You only have to work that 10% harder than everyone else, and you will crush it. And be consistently 10% harder than everyone else, and you will crush it. And then imagine if you go 50%, and imagine if you go 100%. You're going to leave everyone behind. Kobe, I follow him more now in his death than I ever did his life, right? But he used to do 1,000 shots before every game. And on the weekend, me and my wife took our son to the basketball courts before his game. And we just shot after shot after shot, just working on his technique. He probably did 100 shots before his game. Went to the game and he fucking killed it. He was nailing them from all over the court. Like shots we thought, why are you having a shot from there? And he got it in. But he did that extra 10%. He did
that make you feel proud?
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah.
But it was great to see like what we're preaching and practicing and it coming into fruition.
With your own kid as well.
Yeah. You know, I wish I had that when I was younger. I wish I had that person to go, no, go, do it, push. But even though I don't have it, you have it now because I'm telling you, fucking push, work, put in that extra effort. Man, if someone was so fucking good today at their job interview, I would have hired them. I would have said, you know what, you're perfect. You don't need to speak to anyone else. But people are letting themselves down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know.
You know well, but the question is, do you guys know? And I hope that's a yes. And the way you're going to continue to know is if you subscribe. And if you share it with someone else, send us a message. We'd love to hear it. What did you like? What didn't you like? We want to know everything. But as always, I hope you guys are dominating in everything you're doing and I'm going to close with this. I haven't opened with it in a while, but we're going to close with it. And I hope you have had $1 million day.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.